In the spirit of the new year, we're probably setting new resolutions and thinking about how we can optimize the way we're handling our money. So it seems like an interesting juncture to set some resolutions or habits that we can keep in 2025. And I'll list three that I find interesting that would be easy for everyone to work on and also important in terms of the kind of outcomes you can get from changing these three keystone habits. So the first one would be to resolve to save more. And the reason why we're talking about saving more in 2025 is that it's actually going to be a little bit difficult to do this. If you've been paying attention to your household expenses over the last few years, you've probably noticed that many things have become a lot more expensive. And this is because of inflation. And inflation doesn't seem like it's going anywhere soon. You do have central banks as well as governments working on bringing inflation down, even in India and across the globe. But this last mile disinflation, as they call it, has actually been much more challenging to overcome than bringing it down from the peak of post-COVID. So when we see that inflation is going to be stickier and you're going to be paying more for food, groceries, or even basic services, then for us, saving actually becomes a little bit more challenging. But it's important for us to stretch our rupee as much as we can, develop better spending as well as saving habits in 2025. The second thing that we need to work on is improving our SIP habit. Now, many of us probably have SIPs or systematic investment plans in mutual funds running. And the thing is, if we look at data that's come out from AMFI, the SIP stoppage ratio, which is the ratio of SIPs that are either discontinued or not renewed to the number of new SIPs, hit a new record high in November. So that SIP stoppage ratio went up to 79%, which is still lower than the number in May this year. But it's very close to the number that you had in May 2020, which is about 80%. So SIP stoppage shows that people are not continuing longer term investments, and we actually need to enter SIPs with a 3 to 5 year horizon and not like a horizon of a few months, because the real benefits of compounding and cost averaging actually kick in only when you have a longer timeline in sight. The second thing that we can do with our SIP habits is to step them up. So many of us tend to run an SIP and then not increase our SIP as our income and our savings potential increases. But this is a key way to grow your wealth in a faster manner and hit those milestones faster than you expect. So stepping up your SIP game is a key habit or resolution that you should make. Even if it's only a few thousand rupees, it's going to make a lot of a difference in the long run. When it comes to your SIP, there's still another small change that you can make, which is to look beyond past performance. So if you've been picking schemes or funds to run your SIP and based on how they've performed in the last 3 years, 5 years, or few months, then it's time to actually refresh the way that you do things and find a more conservative as well as practical way to choose mutual fund schemes for SIPs. Now, something that has performed really well in the past is unlikely to continue to do the same kind of performance, and we need to have a reset in terms of expectations as far as our SIPs are concerned. Now, moving on to the third habit or resolution that we need to make. This is with respect to market volatility. So we must resolve to take advantage of market volatility in 2025. There are already some early indicators that we can take from the end of 2024, which shows us that 2025 could be a more volatile year. So if we look at how the markets have behaved from September till the end of the year, it's been a lot more volatile towards the end. You have seen FIIs pull out money and then put money back in. You've also seen some DII selling that's happened. The indicators of SIP stoppage as well as and the loss of faith that market participants have could hit markets in 2025. So if we see downward revisions towards growth and earnings expectations, or if we see underperformance in select funds and categories that continue for a while, then it's very likely that there will be a churn in the market and investors might choose a different set of themes or sectors to focus their attention on. So when this volatility occurs, it's important for us to take advantage of it, and we can do this by preparing with liquidity. We can do this by also having a list of ideas or themes or investment options that we'd like to re-enter or enter at the right time. So being prepared for volatility will actually help us take advantage of it. There are many more financial resolutions that you can make that will move the needle and help you inch towards whatever your next big target is. And you can let us know what resolution you are making in the comments below.